What up to my peoples, and welcome to Retro Crunch. And to start off this week's retro pop culture news, just in case you haven't got your fill of 80s video games being made into live action movies, it looks like Pac-Man fever has finally made its way to the big screen. It only took 40 years, but hey, who's counting? Yes, my fellow Pac-Man fans, Pac-Man is getting its very own live-action movie, according to Hollywood Reporter. Now, there's absolutely no information on the actors or when this movie release date is going to be, but just knowing that this project is going to be based on an original storyline from Chuck Williams, who was actually one of the associate producers on the film Sonic the Hedgehog, that makes me feel really good. If you're going to make a movie about a video game, you better get somebody who knows what they're talking about. At least they got someone with some experience with making a video game into a movie. That's really reassuring. Since we have very little to go on for this movie, I'm going to step in and say that they definitely should not make this on Earth or in New York, which every video game seems to be made in. I would much rather them to go along the lines of bringing the viewer into the world of Pac-Land. Something like that would be great and fun to watch. Or even a simulation game of Pac-Man itself, sort of like we got with the movie Tron many years ago. We're probably not going to get Flynn Arcade, but wouldn't that be kind of cool too? But speaking of that, whatever happened to that Tron 3 movie we were supposed to get? Anyways, I just think that bringing a animated or a CGI character into the real world is really played out, and I would love to see them go in a different direction entirely. Sonic the Hedgehog, Pikachu Detective, Rescue Rangers, Tom and Jerry, enough already. There's tons of movies that could have immersed us in their world, but instead we brought them into ours. We've seen that time and time again, but maybe we'll be lucky and Pac-Man will be the first. But let me know what you think about this news. Do you want to see Pac-Man in the real world, or would you like for them to do something where they immerse us in a different world like Pac-Land or something like that? Let me know. And then in our next story, if you've been looking forward to the new Kevin Smith movie, Clerks 3, evidently a lot more people than expected were really wanting to check this out as well. Clerks 3 was originally planning a nationwide release date on September 13th and the 15th in theaters around the US, but since so many people bought tickets, they actually expanded the dates to 4 more days. Basically from September 13th all the way to the 18th. Now, I may not have been happy with Kevin Smith and his He-Man Revelation series, but I've always been a fan of Clerks, so I'm really glad to see that Kevin Smith's movies are gonna do well, or at least a lot of people want to see Clerks 3. Now, if you're interested in seeing when Kevin Smith is going to be doing his road show and you want to score tickets to get to see the man himself, you can head over to clerks3.movie and see when he's going to be visiting your town to watch Clerks 3 with him. Otherwise, you can check out fathomevents.com if you want to see when the Clerks 3 tickets are going to be available in your area. And then for the E.T. the Extraterrestrial fans, the 40th anniversary of E.T. is currently playing at theaters around the U.S. at IMAX. So if you've never seen E.T. or just want to see it in the theater for the first time, go to your local IMAX and check it out. And as a reminder, on September 9th, Cobra Kai Season 5 is going to be coming to Netflix, so be sure to mark your calendars. Barnes is back, so this should be one of the best seasons yet. And then moving on to some other news. So I recently read the book Tommy and the Order of the Cosmic Champions, and I was just reminiscing about the mongoose bike that was in the book. I actually had that same mongoose bike. It was a BMX. BMX was totally popular in the 80s. It was your transportation. It was all of your fun. It was great. Well, I saw that Vans was doing a collaboration with Mongoose, and it was the exact colors on their shoe for the 1987 Mongoose decade that I had in the 80s, so I had to share it. I'm gonna post the collab page down below if you want to pick some of those sweet kicks up. Those blue and pink ones, they would go really well with that bike that I used to have. Too bad I don't have it anymore. Then last up, Nacelle Corporation, the studio that was behind Netflix's The Toys That Made Us, they're leveraging its new toy company to start making a new line of Sectaurs action figures. If you didn't already know, also Nacelle is going to be working on a new animated Sectaurs show. Actually, I think it's currently in development. If you're interested in buying the Sectaurs toys when they're released, they're probably going to start showing up at the nacellestore.com in a couple months. I'll go ahead and link to their webpage if you want to keep track of it for when they're going to be released. Finally, if you're into retro news and nostalgia stuff from back in the day, I'll see you in the next video. I'll catch you on the flip side, and remember, if it ain't retro, it ain't worth watching.